Once upon a time in a kingdom far away, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo was an ordinary guy who loved to sing. He would spend his days working in the fields and his nights singing by the light of the moon. One night while singing, Leo noticed something peculiar. The moon seemed to be unusually bright and beautiful. As he continued to gaze at it, he saw a woman standing on its surface. She had a sad expression on her face and was softly crying. Curious and concerned, Leo approached the moon to get a closer look. And as he did, the woman on the moon spoke to him. She explained that she was the Moon Queen, and every night she shed a single tear, which turned into a pearl bigger than any jewel, and that tear rolled down her face and fell onto the earth below. The Moon Queen asked Leo for a favor. She said, "Every night I cry myself to sleep, and tomorrow when the sun rises, my tears evaporate. But if someone collects my tears and returns them to me before sunrise, I will make a wish for them." Touched by the Moon Queen's sadness, Leo wanted to help. So the next night he waited patiently for the Moon Queen's tear to appear. When it did, he quickly collected it and raced back to the palace. However, just as he arrived, the sun began to rise, and unfortunately, Leo was too late. The tear evaporated, and the Moon Queen, disappointed, flew back to her palace in the sky, determined to help her. Leo visited the Moon Queen every night, waiting for her tear. This continued for many nights, and each time Leo returned empty-handed due to the rising sun. The Moon Queen, witnessing Leo's dedication, felt a glimmer of hope. Then one night, just as the Moon Queen was about to cry, she asked Leo, "If I gave you 3 wishes, what would you ask for?" Surprised by the question, but sensing an opportunity, Leo replied, "I may not have your tears, but I do have a song for you." And he began to sing. It was a beautiful melody that expressed the Moon Queen's sorrow, her longing for companionship, and her hope for a brighter tomorrow. As Leo poured his heart into the song, the Moon Queen was deeply moved. It was the most beautiful song she had ever heard. When Leo finished singing, the Moon Queen wiped a tear from her eye, but this time it wasn't a sad tear. It was a tear of joy and gratitude. She then made a wish. She wished for Leo to become the greatest singer in the kingdom, a wish that would bring him fame and happiness. The next morning, as the sun rose, Leo awoke to find himself in a palace filled with people who had come to see the greatest singer. They had heard about his extraordinary talent and wanted him to perform for them. Overjoyed by his sudden fame, Leo knew that the Moon Queen's wish had come true. From that day on, Leo became a legendary singer, and every night before he performed, he would look up at the moon and sing. It was his way of thanking the Moon Queen for her kindness and reminding himself of the magical night when his song touched the heart of the Moon Queen. And so the tale of Leo and the Moonlight Song echoed through the ages, a story of how a simple song can change your life and how kindness and dedication can bring even the moon down to earth. The end.